Hi, everyone. We're going to continue with our play, The Miracle of Spring. So today's learning target is I can create mental images to deepen my understanding of a play. So just like as we did with our story, The Secret Garden, we are going to use visualization to help us understand what's going on in the story. So when we visualize, we're trying to really paint a picture in our mind. What does our mind's eye see? So using sensory details from the story, we're going to imagine what a setting would smell like, what it would hear and sound, what we would hear and what it would sound like. What kind of tastes would we be experiencing and what would we feel? And we're going to use all of our senses to be able to create a picture in our mind. So when we left off yesterday, we had just finished Act 1 of The Miracle of Spring. And we learned that King Bartholomew was very grouchy, that people were enjoying the springtime and being lazy, as he thought. And so he was feeling very ill and getting more and more angry. And so he decided that he would have his guards capture Spring and put her into the dungeon. Let's find out what happens after he does this. Act 2, Scene 1. Setting, King's bedroom. At rise, King is sleeping. Suddenly, the large downstage window opens and Crow steps in. He looks around, then signals to the other members of Mother Nature's court. All except Judge enter. They carry a bench and witness box, which they set up where it can be seen by the king. Jury sits together, either on the floor or on folding chairs, which they carry with them. The witnesses remain together in another area. Crow, caw, caw, hear ye, hear ye. Mother Nature's court is now in session. Judge Wise Owl presiding. All rise. All rise as Judge Owl enters, goes to bench and sits. King awakens. Judge Owl, pounding gavel. What is the first case before the court? Crow. Mother Nature versus King Bartholomew, Your Honor. Judge. Is the attorney for Mother Nature ready? Eager Beaver. Ready, Your Honor. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I, Eager Beaver, shall prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that King Bartholomew is guilty of attempted murder. King, sitting up in his bed. Murder? I've never murdered anybody. Judge. Quiet, please. Beaver. As I said, attempted murder. King. I have never attempted murder. Judge. You will have to restrain yourself, sire, or you will be held in contempt of court. You may proceed, Mr. Eager Beaver. Beaver. I speak of the attempt to murder by starvation. King. I've never starved anybody. Even the prisoners in our jail are given the finest peanut butter and jelly. Judge. This is your last warning, sire. Beaver. I call my first witness, Mrs. Appletree. Appletree comes forward. Crow. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Appletree, raising hand. I do. Beaver. Mrs. Tree, will you tell the court, please, why you are all dressed in drab brown instead of the bright green that you usually wear this time of year? Appletree. Because there is no spring this year. King Bartholomew has forbidden spring to come to this kingdom. Beaver. And is that why you are not wearing your pretty bonnet, decked with blossoms? Appletree. Yes, and I miss it so, not only because every tree likes to look her prettiest, but also because it means I won't have any apples this year. The apples come from those spring blossoms. Beaver. And do you speak for the other fruit trees as well? Appletree. I do. There won't be any pears or peaches or cherries or plums, no spring, no blossoms, no fruit. Beaver. Thank you, Mrs. Tree. That will be all. And now we have proved that the people of the kingdom will have no fruit to eat this year. Next witness, Mr. Squirrel. Squirrel steps forward and is sworn in by Crow. Now, Mr. Squirrel, you are not your usual cheery self these days. Why is that? I'm worried, and so are all my brothers, sisters, cousins, and friends. Beaver. Will you tell the court why you're so worried? Squirrel. Because we're going to starve to death next winter. Last year's harvest of nuts is almost gone, and there won't be any nuts this year. Beaver. No nuts? How's that? Squirrel. Because the nuts are the fruits of the nut trees, just as the apples and pears are the fruits of the trees in the orchard. No blossoms on the nut trees, no nuts. Beaver. Thank you, Mr. Squirrel. You may step down. Squirrel returns to his place. The court has now heard that we will have no fruit and no nuts in the kingdom this year. This will affect the lives of both the people and the animals. Next witness, Mrs. Winter Wheat. Winter Wheat is sworn in by Crow. Will you tell the court, please, why you are known as Winter Wheat? Because the farmer sows my seeds very early in the winter, before the ground freezes. He does this because he wants an early wheat crop in the spring. Beaver. That is a wise farmer. Will he have an early wheat crop as a result? Wheat. No, he won't, because the ground has to thaw and get warm before we can poke our green shoots through. Since there won't be any spring this year, there won't be any crop of winter wheat, or any other kind of wheat for that matter. Beaver. What will it mean to the people? Wheat. No wheat, no alfalfa or barley or corn or any other kind of grain, and that means no cereals, no flour, no bread or rolls or cake or pies. Beaver. Thank you, Mrs. Wheat. You may step down. She does so. Well, no fruits, no nuts, no grains, no cereals, no flour, no baked goods to eat. Next witness, Miss String Bean. A String Bean is sworn in by Crow. Miss String Bean, your face looks especially long and thin this year. Why is that? String Bean. Because I'm so sorry for all the people who will be without me and all the other vegetables this year. Beaver. No vegetables at all? And why not, Miss Bean? String Bean. Because the ground is hard and frozen, and farmers cannot sow their seeds, and even the seeds that fell into the ground last year from Mother Nature's hand, sobs, cannot mature into plants without warm soil and sun, sobs. Beaver. There, Miss Bean, I can see that you're quite broken up. You are excused. She returns to her place. I think it's quite clear to the court why there will be no vegetables this year. Next witness, Miss Bessie Cow. Crow swears in Bessie Cow. Bessie, I believe that you have a story to tell the court. A sad, sad story. I don't know how much longer there will be any milk or cream or cheese or ice cream for the people of the kingdom. Beaver. Now, this sounds serious indeed. Are you sure? Bessie. Cows can't give milk unless they have nice green grass to eat. Where are we going to find nice green grass this winter landscape? And soon our winter supply of hay, alfalfa, oats, and corn will all be gone. No food, no milk. Beaver. Thank you, Bessie. Bessie returns to place. No milk, no butter, no cream, no cheese, no ice cream. Next witness, Mr. Woolly Lamb. Woolly Lamb is sworn in by the Crow. Mr. Lamb, you're extremely woolly for this time of year, aren't you? Woolly Lamb. Shiver me timbers, yes. Usually the farmer's gone to work on me with his electric clippers by this time of year, but now, brr, it's too cold for me to do without my overcoat. Beaver. What will this mean to the people of the kingdom? Woolly Lamb. No wool for warm clothing and blankets, and if this winter weather continues, they will need more woolen clothing than ever before. Beaver. Thank you. Lamb returns to his place. Next witness, Ms. Honeybee. Honeybee is sworn in by the Crow. Why are you buzzing so furiously, Miss B? I'm so angry I could sting. Beaver. Why? B. Because I'm the champion honeymaker, that's why. Last year I won a blue ribbon at the county fair, and this year I won't be able to make a single drop of the delicious golden nectar. Beaver. No honey this year? That's terrible. B. No one will be sorrier than King Bartholomew because he just loves honey on his bread. A bee can't make honey without flowers, and you can't expect the gardeners to grow flowers when there isn't any spring. I tell you, I'm as angry as a bee can be. Beaver. Thank you, Miss B. You may step down. B. Speaking angrily as she walks away from the witness box. And the bears, they'll be simply wild without their honey. Beaver to jury. We're all going to miss the flowers this year and the birds and the sunshine, but most importantly, patting his stomach, we're going to miss all our food. King Bartholomew is attempting to starve us, and I say he deserves to be found guilty and given the harshest punishment Judge Owl can deliver. Jury, rising. Yes, guilty, guilty, guilty. King, jumping out of his bed. Wait! Judge, I warned you that the next outburst from you would be in contempt of court. See he keeps quiet. Crow, witnesses, and jury advanced menacingly toward King, who hurriedly climbs back into bed and pulls the cover over his head. Jury, chanting in a low monotone, guilty, guilty, guilty. Suddenly, a bell tolls 6 times. All the characters of Mother Nature's court quickly exit through the downstage window, taking their props with them.